Hey guys, Rivet here. Welcome back to another episode of Cube World. Oh my goodness, welcome back. Wednesday, it's hump day. Oh my goodness, it's been so good. Nice to have everybody back. Nice to be here. Nice to be back playing Cube World. Just nice to have a lovely day. Yes, things are going well. As I'm recording this, it is Tuesday evening, and we just got 15 centimeters of snow in April. It's the 9th of April, and we just had a major snowstorm come through. Now, it's not going to last for long. Probably it'll be gone in the next day or two. We're actually getting 10-degree weather centigrade in 2 days. So, I mean, it's all going to be gone. It's one of those last hurrahs, and it's fine. I don't mind. It was actually kind of nice because it's the snow you like. You know, those ones with the great big, huge, fluffy, flakes that come down and it just flows slowly. And I was at work when it was snowing, so I didn't have to deal with it. The only bad side to anything that happened was I got a wet foot on the way home, which was not bad. It was nearby when I was near the house, so it was like it could have been a lot worse than it was. So I'm not going to complain. Double checking where we stand with this stuff. I know that we grabbed some extra stuff at the end of the last episode, and I just want to make sure that I did keep the ones that I need to keep. I'm getting rid of the stuff that we don't need to keep because I don't care. 18 over 18.2, which is cool. Tempo though, 9.5 versus, but the crit's up. We'll just stick with the main one, the 17.4 versus 18.2. We're all good. There we go. Got it all out of the way here bright and early. Oh man. So yeah, everything is going good. I have no complaints. Back to work. Everything is normal ish. It was kind of funny. I went to work Monday. My schedule has been for the last little while was working from 8 to 4:30, which was my schedule. No big deal. I got it approved a while ago, and it works well for me. So I've been happy with it. No complaints. So I didn't put in a request for any changes. So I think okay, everything's good. Because my schedule for the last couple of weeks has been kind of up and down because of all the training. Nothing's been like set in stone. So I didn't bother checking my schedule. So I go into work on Monday, log into the phones, and I have somebody come over saying, get off the phones. And I was thinking, it's like, oh God, what did I do wrong? It's like, did I, mess something up with the training? Was I supposed to be doing something else? Turns out that my schedule had been changed, and I was supposed to start work at 9 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. So, and by the time they caught it, it was almost 9. So, no big deal. So I ended up getting, by accident, an extra hour of work. So I had to stay till 5:30, which is fine. And then, so I did that today. I worked the regular 9 to 5:30, and it was good. Back on the phones, doing my regular thing, talking to folks, doing what I do. And then one of my coworkers came over and asked me a favor. He said, hey, my schedule got shifted, and I can't work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd rather work at 9. Do you want to swap schedules? So I was like, sure. So for the rest of this week, I'm back to my other schedule again. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is just such a random, like, my life is just, I'm not complaining about it at all. It's just funny that, the two of us, we worked together. His schedule got shifted, my schedule got shifted, and we both wanted the other one's schedule. And so we ended up, submitting in and getting it requested made, and it was fine. No complaints are done. So I got my schedule this week, which is cool, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, at least for 3 days out of the week, I'll be normal, and then who knows what next week will bring. But yeah, nothing awful, nothing bad. It was just, I thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, it's been kind of weird getting back on the phones. 2 weeks training kind of, I know my job. I know what I'm doing, but, you kind of lose touch with some of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, things have changed a little bit. There were a few little changes. So, man, that is one beautiful scene coming in. I'm not going to argue or complain about the graphics in Cube World. Always love them. They're always beautiful. And this is going to be our screenshot for today, folks. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so needless to say, the phones was a bit of a learning curve for me this week, but it was good. I've enjoyed it. What do we got here? Whoa, ooh. Okay, well, this is going to be a challenge. This could be our one and done. Let's frickin' mages. Okay, he's done. Do you want a shuriken? Yes, you do. Moves? What the hell? Where have you been, my friend? I've been wrecking dudes' faces and you're nowhere to be found. Jerk. No, I got nothing against moves. Moves is great. Okay, got the lights on. Oh, dear God. Nobody's home. Or everybody's home. Okay, we got some collies here. They had collies. Listen, mages. And a ranger. Okay. Okay, I really have no complaints over this new gear. We took on blues not too long ago and got our butts handed to us, and now seems to be all right. Like, we're actually holding our own fairly well. Again, we're level 56 now, so, you know, it's not like we're level 10, you know, crying, going, I'm so weak, I can't play. And I don't think I ever said, no, I did sound like that. I was pretty whiny there for a while. Oh, bitch, moan, Rivet, bitch, moan. So, yeah, things are good. I have no real complaints. Been contemplating a few little tweaks and changes for myself. I've been bored lately. And I've addressed that. I've been stating that, you know, some of the games that I've received keys for were less than up my alley. And I've been kind of regretting getting into some of the games and things. So I went through my library and I've been pulling up some of the games that I've gotten, that I've owned for a while. And you know what I've noticed is that I've been collecting but not playing is all of these phenomenal space combat simulators. I love space combat. I may have addressed it in the past, but I will address it now. Back in the day, we had games like X-Wing, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, there was Wing Commander series. There were just a whole rash of these great adventure games attached to space combat simulators. And I adore them. Privateer was another one that I loved. Homeworld, another one that I enjoyed. And I adored them. They were, like, for me, one of the best types of games. They were a genre that I never tired of. And then they disappeared. Like, they just flat out were gone one day. And I had no idea, like, why it changed or what happened. But yeah, the genre just kind of disappeared. And it's never really gained back the renaissance that it used to have. But anytime I see any of these games pop up, I grab them. I put them in my library on the hopes one day of, you know, getting in and playing it. And then Steam had a sale on a game the other day called Everspace that I'd had my eyes on for a while. Thought I'd had it, and I didn't. It wasn't in my library. So I picked it up and started goofing off on it, and sure enough, that old bug of getting into the space sims just bit me again. So good chance there's going to be a bit more of that here on the channel. Not too sure. I don't know if it's a change direction for the channel or something or what. I've been wanting to sink my teeth into something different. You know, nothing against Cube World at all. I won't change that. That'll stay. It'll be my mainstay. It'll be twice a week. But I kind of flip-flop between all these different games all the time. And not that I want to focus on one thing and be a one-trick pony channel or anything. But I've kind of gotten away from some of the games that I just like to sit around and goof off with. And so I'm going to give it a shot. No idea if I'll be able to play them and record them or anything, but I thought, why not? Give it a shot. You know, it's it's a genre of game that I used to love. So why not get back into it and see how it feels? I know I have a couple of buddies that love playing EVE Online. I tried it and it was good, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. Elite Dangerous is another game I picked up recently that I got all the DLC and everything for it. Again, with huge dreams, goals, aspirations of doing certain things with. Not a damn thing happened with it, you know? Just like completely ignored it, put it on my computer. It's been installed for months and nothing done with it. I popped into it, played the tutorial, thought, wow, it was really good, and then that's it. I just let it sit there. And I'm pissed at myself for doing that. There's another couple of games that I did that with. Planet Coaster was another game that I picked up that I wanted to get into. There was a Jurassic Park what's it called? Jurassic World, or I don't remember which one. Basically, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon for Jurassic Park. So, and I goofed around in it, played a couple of hours of it, and really thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I keep on distracting myself with all these other games. I'm like, and I've been neglecting something I like. So I'm taking that back. I'm going to get into some of these little games just for me. Don't know if it's going to be what I need to bring life back into the channel, but it might be what I need to bring life back into me. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with things. Not to complain, not to moan, but sometimes getting into games is difficult. Sometimes trying to find that little passion, that spark. We sometimes will go through the motions. I'm playing games right now that I'm enjoying, but sometimes I'm playing games to play games, just to make sure I have content. And I think that's something that I've kind of stepped away from, was playing some of the games just for myself. And that's what I'm going to go back to. If it changes or not, I don't know. When it'll happen on here, no idea. I have a whole, basically almost a full series of a game done, recorded and ready. There we go. I was hoping for an express elevator, and I got one. That went really, really well. Really shocked with how smooth that went, and we even leveled up. Interesting. Have I plateaued? Have I reached the level of badassdom that I've needed to be in my old goblin badass self? I'm hoping so. Let's get back in. Let's do some more. Let's do this. 4. And that's it. We learned it. It's all learned. I know I was rambling on about something with the gaming thing, and it's quite possible, and I've forgotten it, which is fine. So trying to think what else I've got planned. I think, talking about the games in my channels, and just trying to get that oomph back in for myself. It's hard, guys. It's hard sometimes. Again, I not wait. Is that okay? This looks like a good one. Did we not go to this one? Let's just go this way. Let's just go that direction, and we can do it. I like the channel. I love my channel. I love doing what I do here. But as I've said in the past, that I've always wanted to have that other game, and I've done this a number of times, where I'm like, want that game to sink my teeth into like I do with Cube World. And it's hard for me to find them. I thought I had it with Trove and Astroneer, and as much as I love those games and they're fun, there's mechanics in them that I get tired of after a while. And I don't know, maybe I just need more simplistic and just like a basic game some days. But space combat stuff, I dig it. I like it. I do believe Elite Dangerous has like a massive amount of content in it that I can take a look at. Not too sure about Everspace. Pretty sure it's got plenty to keep me occupied. And I just want something to have like that. I can get home from work and spend an hour in, and if I want to record it, I do. If I don't want to record it, I don't have to, and not really worry about things. I think that's what I've kind of tricked myself into, is getting into these story-based games, because I love them. And don't get me wrong, I do love the story-based games, but I tend to get into the story and then I get out of it just as quick sometimes, and there's not a whole lot of meat to keep me enthralled. I think that's why games like Cube World and Astroneer kind of pique my interest, is because the story behind them is you're in a world, good luck, and Astroneer's been delightful, and I've really enjoyed it. Biggest issues I've had with that as of late have been just issues with the systems. Like, it's just hard to run that game. Once you get a certain amount of things in it, it just bogs right down. But it's a delightful game to play with your friends, and that's Astroneer will always have a place on my channel because my friends and I all like to play it. And the development on the game has been delightful. System Era has done a brilliant job of developing it and maintaining it, and I'm not belittling them or faulting them for any of the slowdowns or any of the issues we're having with the game. It's just part of coding. It's just part of the process of learning to develop. What they've got is a very ambitious title, and it's delightful, and I like what they're doing with it. But I need those games I need for me. And as you can see, space is one of my things. I love space. I have no idea what it's going to be, but I've always loved the concept of just, flying around in my own little spaceship and, do my own thing. I think that's kind of like why I got drawn into No Man's Sky when it happened, because I thought it was going to be, for me, that resurgence of the joy that I had with the old space simulators, and that turned out to be a fiasco when it hit. And I may take a look at that as well, because I know that they've made some drastic changes. And I did try it again a little while ago, and it was better, and I did quite enjoy it. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not making any promises at all. I'm just talking about games, guys. Games, playing the games and videos. I like them a lot. I saw a thing today. It's like, would you take $500,000 and quit playing video games? And I saw a bunch of people who were like, yeah, easy. And I was like, nope. There's no money. You can't pay me enough money to give up video games. Yeah. Where would I be without them? And I look at that, and I look back at my life and how much of my life has been sitting in front of a TV playing games or in front of a computer, and the memories that I have associated with video games alone, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. There's so much joy I have. I love the fact that I have a bond with video games with my son. I'm 51 years old this year, and I've got a 16-year-old son, and we can play video games together, and he can teach me how to get better at things. I don't know anything else that I can't think. I'm sure there's some sports that you could get into with your child, but where your child can actually teach you and help you become better at it. And I just adore that my son is as enthralled by video games as I am. And I love the fact that he's a goofy little weird kid, like I was a goofy little weird kid. And I don't mean that in a slight, or not saying it in a negative. My child is unique. And with unique comes a whole lot of baggage of being odd and strange and weird. And I love him for that. He's a brave young man. Like, he's, made statements to me, about, displeasure. If he's upset with something I've done or anything, I love the fact that he can just come up to me and we can have a conversation. And, it's still father and son, but there is that respect that I have for him of you're right. I did make that mistake, and I can own this, and thank you very much for drawing it to my attention, and let's have a conversation. And it takes a lot to go to your parent and address some of their faults. And, I don't know if that is, kudos to how my ex-wife and I have raised our son, but I think a lot of that comes from the person he is. I think rearing can only do so much, but the character of a person is, I don't think that's something you could actually teach, not necessary. There's aspects of it, obviously. But, I just adore the fact that he is who he is. Even if I wasn't his father, I'd be proud to know the person he is, and I can't say that about many people at all. I work in a call center, and I deal with folks sometimes that are less mature than my 16-year-old son. And I'm like, wow, and I had a run-in just over the weekend, was asked to, go out and have a drink with somebody. Not somebody at work or anything. It was kind of like a blind date type of thing. And it was just silly. It was kind of humorous, to say the very least, in that, the conversation, we hadn't met each other, and, a brief description. And then basically the first words were like, oh, I didn't realize how old you were, kind of thing. And I'm like, And it's like, what, because I do YouTube and things, you're going to automatically think I'm young? And it was like, there's a whole bunch of similarities and things that we had interests that were alike. And just she couldn't get past the fact that I was as old as I was. And that's the thing. I never lied about it. Like, there was no issues about it, And then, it just became an issue. And it was kind of funny for me because it was easy enough for me to just say, hey, I don't give a shit. And I just walked away. I'm like, it's just, how much of my time is this worth? None. I'm going to go back and do something for myself. Enjoy your night. Good luck. And I walked away. And, younger me cringed at the fact, an attractive woman. And obviously there was some interest there. But just you hear that same statement like 3 or 4 times, and I just realized the maturity level of her was just it was never going to gel. And it's not like there was a huge gap in our age. It was like maybe just around the 10-year mark, a little bit younger. Not a huge difference. So it just kind of baffled my brain as to why it became an issue. And I was like, whatever. I don't date very often, and that's proof positive as to why. And I just don't even know if I'm dating materially anymore. I'm just so set in my ways when it comes to certain aspects, and I just don't put up with bullshit. And I think that's the difference between the person I am now and the person I used to be. I used to cave to a lot of bullshit. Even my last girlfriend I had, there was a bunch of crap that was going on with it, and it wasn't like I was asking anybody to change. That's the last thing I want anybody to ever do. Is I've always been of the mindset that you're attracted to somebody, and if you like the person that they are, then like who they are. Don't ask them to change to become something more along the lines of what your preconceived notions are of a perfect mate, because that's just going to end in failure. Just enjoy the person. If you fall in love, that's the person you fell in love with. Deal with it. If you can't get over your own insecurities about what their issues are, then you shouldn't be in the relationship. If you want to change a person, you're in it for the wrong reasons. That's my thought. So when I was younger, I had, I would be like, okay, you want me to change? Well, I can try, and inevitably it always failed. It always failed. Now, my ex-wife and I never had that issue. She was, the person she was, and I never asked her to change. She never asked me to change, but we did change. And, that change that we had just drew us further and further apart, and not for the worse. We're still really good friends. I talk with her on a regular basis, and she is an amazing friend, and I wouldn't want anything more. And I love that. And I think it's remarkable that, how much we put emphasis on silliness in our lives. Even just sitting on the subway going back and forth to work, because I notice all these people that are looking on their phones, just so self-absorbed or in their own little bubble for what they're looking at. And I notice a lot of Instagram, and I don't get it. I don't live in that need for Instagram. I understand that it's there for folks and that they love it. But what I see over and over and over again is just people looking at pictures of other people and like zooming in on like a person's face and looking for blemishes or something. I'm like, wow, is that where we are in society, that we have to critique people and judge just on these little facets of things? And I'm like, yeah, no, I would much rather judge a person based upon their character than their appearance. And I think that is where I'll end things today. Rambled, Rivet, rambled. I don't know what direction I came in on this thing, but holy crap. I tell you, that's why I love this game. Makes me get all all goofy in the head. It just, I ramble. And this Cube World does it. It opens up the brain and lets me just kind of go, bleh. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the worse. Today, I think that was a good one. I enjoyed it. I had fun. Again, if you guys like what you see and you've lasted this long, thank you very much. Appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe if you are so inclined. If not, thank you very much for being here. If you like Cube World content every Wednesday and every Sunday at 2 p.m., that's where the 2 came in from, was 2 p.m., not Tuesday. I have new content out for Cube World. Sometimes I'll be live streaming when I have the time. But anyway, thanks again, everybody, for coming out. Thanks for your continued support, and I will see you guys in our next episode. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
This is a song for all the